I'm Salvi Duplito. You're watching Salvi Says Live on Kumu, on Facebook, and on YouTube. And as always, bago pa tayo magsimula, may mga naghihintay na po sa stream natin. We have around 9 people waiting already. Shout out lang sa kanila, Elisea, Ronardones, Dizon, Jimboy, Love, Jessa, Gina D, So, Janice, and Julius, and of course, my prod team's there. Alright, on Facebook naman and on YouTube, Keb, nandyan na agad. And Aris and Ishingel. Aris, sabi niya, he was watching me in Financial Fitness Forum, kakatapos lang doon, dito naman ulit. So, huli-huli lang talaga tayong lahat. And thank you so much for joining our stream today. This is our Financial Saturdays. This is our way of helping all our kababayans here and around the world become a better version of themselves by managing their money wisely. Okay? Pero dito po, kung nakikita nyo ako sa television, pag nag-host ako sa ANC, doon medyo serious tayo. Dito po pwedeng hindi serious. Pwede pong mag-asaran, magkulitan. Sometimes may kantahan pa. See, there's Don Torres is watching from Indonesia. LB Tolentino, maraming salamat po for joining. Ishingel, I think, is in Japan. I think, kung hindi ako nagkamali. Today, meron tayong powerhouse speakers and resource persons na ipapakilala ko sa inyo kung hindi po nyo pa sila kilala. And we'll be talking about a lot of different things from health issues, preparing for COVID expenses, and our stock spotlight of the week. Mamaya, malalaman ninyo kung ano yung pinili ng ating guest for today. Pero ipapakilala ko lang po ang aking sarili. My name is Salvi Duplito. I'm a financial journalist but also trained as a financial advisor. So in my 25-year career, yes, tita na po tayo, my life's work really is in financial literacy. I was born very poor, so I see that as a very big instrument for people to become, as I said earlier, a better version of themselves. So ngayon po, alam ko lang po sa inyo, we will have a new YouTube episode tomorrow. So if this is your first time to watch the stream, go to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell para every time we have a new episode, nano-notify kayo. Sa YouTube po, again, maraming mapupulot. And it's just not me talking. Investment experts, mga inspiring stories from around the world. And I hope meron kayong matutunan. If there's any question or any topic na gusto nyong pag-usapan namin sa YouTube, just please comment in the comment section and I'll get to you after the show. Ang atin pong YouTube episode tomorrow, I'm very excited about this. It's about Ben Lebig. Pakita po natin ang kanyang picture. Yep, we interviewed him. He is one of the most well-awarded, much-awarded Filipinos in Dubai. Hindi lang po siya doon nagtatrabaho. Siya ay nakapagtayo ng maraming negosyo. At kung nabasa niyo na ang mga stories he's been written about in Inquirer, Rappler, he was born in saan na nga ba ito? Nakalimutan ko. In the province to a teacher and an agriculturist. So, farmer and teacher ang kanyang parents. Sorry, I forgot where, but in the province, and kinakwento niya this very powerful story of when he was little, tumatawid pa ng river ang mother niya at siya para siya makapag-school. Ganun po talaga ang sistema, ang siste sa mga probinsya. But this has not stopped him from being who he needs to be. And ngayon, isa na siyang expert in Dubai, also talking about financial literacy, and he has created a school there para yung mga kababayan natin pwede makapag-school doon ng hindi masyadong mahal but still top-notch education. So, sana po manood kayo 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Sabay-sabay nating panoorin ang episode na to dahil I'm sure marami po kayong matututunan sa kanya. And with that, tawagin na natin ang ating unang guest ngayong gabi. Itong guest ko na to, nakilala ko. Paano ko nga ba ito nakilala? Naging Tita Deli in Como is watching. Nakikita ko lang to sa YouTube, ay sa Facebook. Laging nagko-comment. And Lola Dali, hindi naman Tita Deli. Lola Dali is watching again. Ron Stewart is here. Ay, ayan, meron pong, bakit may umiiyak na baby? Wait lang, umiiyak na po yung baby. Hindi ko po baby yun. Sound effect lang po siya. Alright. So, si Floi Wycoco, hindi po kami magkamag-anak. Pero when we first met each other, naging guest ko siya in the early days of On the Money, like almost 9 years ago na. When I met him, he told me this very powerful story of being a bankrupt OFW. At nung umuwi siya sa Pilipinas, na-realize niya na lahat ng oras niya doon, nagasta siya ng gasta ng pera niya, nasayang lang. And so when he came here, he used all of his learnings to start a group called the Global Filipino Investors. But I'll let Floyd tell you his story. Very short background. Hi, Tonggay! Okay, this is anakan ko to. Yes. I'll let him tell you his story, but that's not going to be our focus today. In fact, our focus today is his battle with COVID. Pero quickly lang, Floyd, what was your story about being an OFW first?
Well, unang-una gusto ko muna sabi ng magandang araw kasi sabi mo kanina, Ninang, from different parts of the globe yung nanonood sa atin. So, magandang araw sa inyong lahat para safe na safe, di ba?
Yes.
So, regardless of time. Okay. So, what was my story before the Global Filipino Investors? Well, siguro I can say na most likely parang I can identify it as yung typical na tao na trap within the rat race. So I was at one point I saw myself working so hard, but at the end of the day, pagtingin ko sa ATM ko, zero yung laman niya. Tapos meron akong meeting, may dumating sa point ko sa ito meron akong meeting on that same day and I had to use that 50 pesos. Pinag-isipan ko kung either gagamitin ko yung papunta sa meeting ko or pang tatanghalian ko kasi that day yun yung sweldo din nung araw na yon. So, of course, pinili ko yung meeting kasi pagka hindi ko pinuntahan yung meeting, baka wala rin akong maging sales production. Tapos, without me knowing, hindi pala ako nakakuha ng sweldo on that time. So, hindi ako in short, ako nakapagtanghalian no araw na yun. And then, yes. And then, yun nga, so medyo I never had a chance to before TGFI, I never had the chance to get to understand why is it important to understand your personal to understand personal finance. So I was bankrupt at some point. So bankrupt na umabot almost 7 digits yung utang ko sa credit card ko noon na ang inisip ko is takasan ko siya para sabi kasi pagka after 10 years daw na hindi mo babayaran yung utang mo, mabubura na raw eh. Yun yung paniwala ko before, di ba? So tinatasan ko siya. Nag-OFW ako. So
may nag-hello sa'yo, wait lang. Hello muna tayo sa kanya.
Hi. Ay, nako, si attorney ano pala yun? Leonard pala. Okay. Hi, attorney. So, yun. So, nung nasa Singapore po tayo, hindi pa rin naman ako marunong magawak noon for the first 6 months ko. So, magawak ng pera. So, nung nandun ako, the first thing that I bought was a watch worth 70,000 plus pesos. So, yung sweldo ko nun was parang close to 70 plus din. So, wala pa nga yung sweldo ko on that day. Sabi ko, sweldo naman ako ng gito kalaki. Sabi ko, sige, bili na kami ng relo. So, I bought that.
Floy, kung ako naninang mo no, nakurot kita.
Oo nga. So, yun yung problema ko. In short, hindi ako marunong magawak ng pera talaga before. And then, I was invited to an event on personal finance. Yun yung pinaka-initial kong inatinan. And then, medyo malakas yung naging tama sa puso ko that the first thing I did after I attended that seminar is I withdrawn all of my money and then nilagay ko siya into 5 envelopes kung saan ko siya dapat ilalagay sa pambayad sa bahay, pambayad sa ganito, and then savings for myself. So yung una kong inattempt was 10 to 15% yata ng sweldo ko. And then nakita ko na kayang-kaya ko. The next month I did it again, 20% naman, 25, 30% until founded na the Global Filipino Investors until nakapag-invest na tayo at nakapag-share na nung ano natin, yung stories natin to people. And then it also became my passion in sharing my story to the people. Kasi nga sabi ko, kung hindi ako na paggrupo sa mga like-minded people on how I can handle my finances well, edi paano na ako, baka mamaya hiniwalay na ako ng girlfriend ko pa noon, ngayon wife ko na. So kasi isa rin yun kung bakit ako nag OFW, para magkaroon ako ng lakas ng loob na mag-propose sa kanya. So
Ayan!
yes, ang dami kong sacrifices nung time na yon. And then sabi ko, bakit ko sasayangin? So anuin ko na, tutuhanin ko na. So I was able to start the Global Philippine Investors. Tanda ko yon, nasa Singapore pa ako noon. Si Doc Christian Santos told me, Floy, may invitation tayo from ANC, punta ka. So parang 1 week lang yung notice. Sabi ko, sige, punta ako. So punta ako sa Singapore. That's where we get to introduce to each other. Isa ka sa una nag-interview sa amin. And then, yun na, sabi ko nung nakita kita, parang gusto ko maging mommy to.
Mami ng bayan.
Like, parang gusto ko maging mommy, pero hindi na pwede. So, ninang na lang. So, ninang salve is my ninang in my wedding. So, yun po.
One of the sweetest weddings that I have attended. Meron pong nagtatanong lang, nasan daw po ang aking co-host? Medyo off po muna siya today. Makikita niyo siya soon. And si Kevin, sabi niya, stay safe everyone. Mag-ECQ na starting Monday. Stay hydrated. Nood daw tayo dito para hindi tayo ma-stress. At eto, nakakatawa talaga naman. Eto, si Aris, dahil kakanood niya ng Financial Fitness Forum. Stay safe everyone, and to all investors, be greedy. Tingnan natin mamaya kung paano tayo magiging greedy pag dumating na sa stream ang ating investment expert. Now, Floy, last year, nagulat kaming lahat when we found out na ikaw ay na-ospital dahil sa severe COVID. At hindi lang yun yung problema mo. Dahil na-hospital ka at na-check nila yung iyong karamdaman, they discovered that there was a tumor in your brain.
Yes. Oo. So, oo nga sabi ko maghanda ng tissue. So sige, let's start sharing. Tuwalya, mag-share tayo ng story. Sige. So, that was December 5 when I found out about I'm positive of COVID. So nung first well, of course, pagkalaman namin, nagpa-hospitalize na kagad ako. So pero nung mga first 3 days na alam ko na positive ako sa COVID, hindi ko inaalala yung sarili ko, mas inaalala ko yung of course yung family ko. So we're in one room. So magkatabi kami ng yung dalawa kong babies, of course, and also my wife, no? So isa lang naman yung wife ko, kayo maglala. So yun. So yun, sila yung mas inalala ko. So when siguro tama 3 days or 4 days, sabi naman ng wife ko, wag ka na mag-alala, Miyay yung tawagan namin. So wag ka na mag-alala, Miyay, kasi negative naman kami. So lahat sila negative of COVID, and then of course lahat din ng office mates ko negative din of COVID. Gumaan na yung loob ko. But when on my second week na of COVID, that's when nag-peak yung sakit sa akin. So I was symptomatic. So if you get to identify yung mga common symptoms ng pagkakaroon ng COVID, I got it. So I got that pala. So loss of taste, loss of sense of smell. So sumakit yung throat ko, nag-diarrhea, tapos na-trigger din yung sakit ko may sakit kasi ako sa lungs before, yung TB ko nga, tuberculosis. So nag-trigger ulit siya. So I had pneumonia. So yun yung mas reason namin kung bakit nagpa-hospitalize kami. Tapos yung pinaka hindi ko makakalimutan, pag siguro yun nga, mga 5 days or tama ba sa hospital ako? Tama, mga ganun, 4-5 days.
Thank you, Ate.
Nagreklamo ako dun sa doctor. Sabi ko, Doc, hindi ako makatulog. So baka you can prescribe me with something. Kasi sumasakit din yung ulo ko, hirap ako matulog, as in magigising ako, kala ko ang haba na ng tulog ko. Pero yun pala, 30 minutes pa lang yung tinutulog ko that day. So sabi niya, sige, bigyan kita ng gamot, then at the same time magpa-CT scan tayo. So nagpa-CT scan kami, and then nung nagpa-CT scan, hindi ko pa masyado, hindi ko natanong actually kung ano yung nalaman nila sa scan ko. So sabi ko lang, at least may gamot na. Pero mga ano na to, mga third week ko na ng pagkakaroon ng COVID. So my family, yung of course close friends, and of course wife ko, no? So sobra yung alala sa akin. So nagtaka ako, bakit ganito na yung worry sa akin ng mga to, third week na nga. So medyo okay na yung pakiramdam ko. So yung care nila, para talaga extra care. Sabi ko, bakit ganoon? Bakit pati
Tataka ka na.
tataka ako, papadala ng mga pagkain, tapos time to time nag-check
So
sila.
alam na nila, ikaw lang hindi nakakaalam. Ayaw
Yes.
nilang sabihin sa'yo.
Ayaw sabihin kasi nga COVID pa, dahil bawal din ma-stress.
Yes,
So until the doctor told me 2 days before ako lumabas from the hospital, sabi ng doctor, straightforward, sabi niya, Floy, meron kang meningioma. It's a type of brain tumor. So may tumor ka sa utak. So I want you to check, research about it, Google mo kung ano yung makikita mo, and then I want you to prepare about it. So sabi ko sa sarili ko, ano lang yan, tumor lang yan, COVID nga naka-recover ako from this, yung tumor pa kaya. So hindi pa nagsisigin sa akin na malala na siya. So and then so I was able to get out from the hospital, so December 19 onwards, piniprepare na ako ng family ko, yung katawan ko nga kasi nga na immunocompromised, no. So piniprepare na ako from what's next. Okay? Nag-check kami sa iba't ibang doctors, neurodoctors, kasi nga medyo nung nagsisink in na sa utak ko na medyo malala yung situation na where I'm at. So sabi ko, let's check with another doctor until to the other, kasi nga hindi ako nasasatisfy sa sinasabi nila. And iisa lang yung sinasabi nila. Yes,
so may
iisa lang.
Opinion.
Yes. Well, fourth opinion eh. Kasi 4 doctors yung puntahan namin. So
I saw Floy, your operation. Ang laki nung cut. Ayan guys, nakita nyo yan. That's ilang stitches yan? Sobrang laki.
From this side hanggang dito, ganyan siya. So nag-undergo ako ng craniotomy. So actually ito yung story niyan. Medyo kasi nga hindi pa ako ma-satisfy talaga, na sabi ko tumor lang yan, pwedeng madaan sa gamot talaga to, sabi ko. And then the doctor told me, sa CT scan mo pa lang yung size niya, kasing halos kasing laki na ng ping pong ball. So sabi ko sa wife ko, magpa-MRI scan tayo, baka mamaya lumiit na, kasi ilang weeks na yung difference eh.
Yes.
So sabi ng MRI sa akin dun sa pagkakita ng doctor, sabi niya, Floy, mas lumaki to. So yung case mo is that kung dati kasi laki ng ping pong ball, siguro at that point ping pong ball na talaga yung size niya. So it is subject to surgery. Kasi sabi niya, ito yung catch dyan never ako nagkaroon ng migraine.
Sakit. Wala. Yun nga parang like what I was thinking about when I was designing this show is you were healthy, you had no migraine, even with COVID, you were following all protocols. But sometimes the things that you think will never happen to you can happen to you. And as a financial advisor, we always keep saying that, diba? Parang yung mga pag nag-a-advise ka ng ibang tao, kailangan sinasabi mo sa kanila, maghanda tayo kahit na feeling mo hindi mangyayari sa'yo. It's still better to be prepared. But prepared ka ba dun sa bills mo sa ospital?
Well,
dun sa numero. Prepared ka ba na makita mo magkano ba yung naging bill mo? Sa COVID tsaka dun sa meningioma.
Okay. Meningioma dun sa brain tumor. Sa COVID, actually I can say na malaki yung natulong sa akin nung knowledge that I was able to learn all through the years, no. Yes. So dun sa COVID pa lang, sinabi ko na sa wife ko, magpapa-hospital lang ako kung hindi tayo gagastos ng malaki, kasi I knew from the very start, pagka na hospital ng COVID, nalagay ka sa private hospital, hindi bababa ng 7 digits. So ang blessing lang talaga is that meron kaming kaibigan na nurse siya sa isang public hospital sa Gat Andres Bonifacio. So nagpa-hospital ako sa Tondo, Manila. Sabi ko, sige, dito papayag ako magpa-hospital kasi alam ko na wala kaming gagastusin. So I was confined there, and then doon
But the bill itself was how much?
nung pagka-check ko din ng, well, for that COVID, siguro mga close to 100,000 din.
Mura na yun.
Yes. Oh, mura yun. Pero
were you in the ICU?
hindi naman ako napunta sa
Hindi ka na
sa
ICU. Because I know someone. Sorry, but the patient passed away, no? The patient passed away. Hulaan niyo kung ano yung bill niya. She parang 15 days in the ICU and the bill was 8 million pesos.
Ouch. Oo. Yeah.
So as a financial advisor nga, kahit na nag-ipon ka ng maraming taon, cases like this can really set you back.
Yes.
Paano pa kung hindi ka nakapag-ipon? Your meningioma, how much was the bill?
Ayun. So, doon sa COVID nga na nalagpasan na, sabi ko, nakatakas na sa bills. Hindi naman nakatakas, but this guys na may kakilala sa isang public hospital. Nakatipid, sobrang laki ng tipid. Doon sa meningioma naman, it reached to 700 to 800 yata, 800 plus thousand.
But you were prepared for it with all of your financial instruments. Alam ko, you had insurance,
yes.
You had savings, and that's why wala nang 50 pesos struggle ngayon. Kumakain ka naman.
Kumakain naman. Actually, yun din, Ninang, sabi, nung time na nagpe-prepare kami, piniprepare yung katawan ko, nagre-ready din kami dun sa surgery. So, I already filed my claim dun sa critical illness coverage ko. Sabi ko rin nga sa wife ko na the only reason for me to be confident na magpa-surgery is that mako-cover yung critical illness coverage ko. Kasi nga, as a father, yes, gusto ko maging healthy to spend a lot of time with my family. Pero, again, as a father nga, doon yung point na ayokong pinaghirapan namin to, tapos doon sa isang beses lang na hospital ako, mauubos, di ba? Ilang buwan,
nakakaawa nga, Floy, sometimes some people sinasabi sa akin, pagka na-hospital sila at ganun kalaki yung bill, pabayaan na lang daw sila, di ba? Because, sometimes, nakalabas ka nga ng hospital, pero dun ka naman mamamatay sa bill mo. So, guys, better be prepared. Floy, I will bring you down the stream for now, and we'll get back to you later for the Q&A segment. All of those who are here in the stream and want to ask questions, paki-ready nyo na po, pwede nyo na pong i-type sa comment section because we'll bring Floy back up during the Q&A portion para sagutin ang inyong mga tanong. Anak, maraming salamat sa sharing mo. Mamaya ibabalik kita ha, because we are going to invite naman ang sabi ko kanina, heartthrob ng ANC to. He is the head of sales of Regina Capital to talk about his hot stock spotlight of the week. Luis Limlingan, please go on board. Hi.
Yes, and kagaya ng sabi mo, no, magandang araw sa lahat ng mga viewers. Lalo pa sa mga yung siguro sing pa para makinig sa atin kahit gabing-gabi na kung nasan sila ngayon.
Totoo yan. Sa iba, gabing-gabi. Sa iba, madaling araw. Sa iba, rest time, siesta time. Maraming salamat sa pag-join sa amin, Luis. And it's very interesting now. Dahil magkaka-ECQ, hindi ka muna makakaakyat ng bundok.
Oo nga eh. Mukhang mananaginip na lang ako. Manood na ng YouTube. Gawa na lang ng bagong bucket list. Wala na talaga tayong magagawa. Yes. Na lang muna.
Ano yung biyahe mo overseas para umakyat ng bundok na hindi natuloy dahil sa COVID? Kasi I know you went to the happiest place on earth already. Pinag-usapan natin na, di ba? But you went there now, right?
Yeah, mga 4 years ago yun. Matagal ko pinag-ipunan yun. Tapos I think I read about it after college, happiest place on earth. It's supposed to be called, it's in northern Norway, Lofoten. So, syempre, sabi ko when I hit my without carbon dating myself though, when I hit a certain age and when I've saved enough, I'll make that my goal, which I did. Tapos syempre,
akala ko sasabihin mo when I hit 50 million in my spare account, pwede na akong pumunta.
Wish ko lang. So, masarap at ginawa ko mag-isa. experience din to travel by yourself para just rely on your instincts. And syempre, what you learn, kasi parang literally nasa bubble tayo, di ba? Pero metaphorically, we're also living in a bubble kasi ang alam lang natin tungkol sa yung sarili natin culture, ganun. So, kung kaya talaga, it's opportunity for me to gain that experience.
Naku guys, follow nyo yung IG account ni Luis dahil makikita nyo ang kanyang mga buwis-buhay post sa gilid ng bundok. Minsan na iniisip ko, sino kayang kumukuha ng picture nito? Mamaya mo na yan sa akin, kwento pagtapos nyo, kwentuhan natin. But today, you chose a very controversial stock because kakalabas lang ng kanilang income.
Controversial,
Well, hindi naman super controversial katulad ng ibang mga stocks dyan na biglang umakyat from 4 pesos to, di ba, nung sobrang taas ng kasnada. Hindi naman katulad nun. But this is interesting because their income numbers for 2020 recently came out. Were you surprised? Let's talk about this stock. Palabas natin yung kanyang chart.
Sorry, medyo boring to eh. Okay. Medyo sobering yung topic natin from kay Floy, no? So, that's quite the way we're switching gears. But, okay, so, I guess just to start, it was surprising for us kasi if you look at Pgold during the third quarter, that was still at the heat of the pandemic in 2020, no? Medyo the signs were there that it's weakening. And Pgold, along with other stocks, they were tagged as the pandemic stocks or work-from-home stocks. Basically, in the States, di ba, those were the FANGs, di ba? Kasi those are the tech stocks, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, because people are going to be relying on them even soon, di ba? But now, I think when the vaccine was rolled out, and when the third quarter earnings came out, parang nagka-timing lang, no, na medyo off siya.
Yeah.
And not so much, but expectations were much higher given it was the stock talaga everyone was looking at. So when the fourth quarter came out, we were quite surprised in a good way. And we're trying to, I guess, reconcile and explain because I think if you can see, the revenue was almost double. Or the profit was also more than double. So we're just trying to reconcile what's been happening, no? Probably one is, obviously, it's a Christmas season. People are going to be spending more. But can you say double? Probably other explanations for that were maybe because of the transactions. And I think third was because of the pandemic, instead of people going out for parties and eating out, people are staying at home. So they're celebrating. There are more celebrations at home. So that could have been one explanation. But regardless of what happened, no, the stock price just jumped from, I think, 34. So now it's trading at close to 41, I think, at this point.
Yeah. Yan. So, and parang I think, di ba parang Pgold, its market really is very big. Kasi ito yung pinupuntahan ng mga masa para mamili. Diba? But even during the pandemic, they created an app. Diba? Si Shelly ba yun? Si Shopping Alley? I don't know, they created an app, nagpa-concert sila, may Tito Boy pa, and they created that community for everybody who were trying to order online also because of the fears nga of contracting COVID. Diba? Do you think that there are other risks for Pgold moving forward for those who own the stock?
There will always be the risks of the change in consumer habits. And people were saying that this is going to be fast-tracked because of the pandemic. Because I think the move is that everything is going online. Your purchases, whether it's food, clothing, simple things, right? Everything is, they're saying that is the wave of the future and that is where we're migrating. Pero I think there is going to be some room where a lot of these purchases will still be done face-to-face. I think when you go to the grocery, you have your essential items which you can deliver. But let's say you want to buy fresh produce, meats, diba? Iba talaga pag hinawakan mo, tinitingnan mo. So that's where I think it's going to come in. And I think the market for pure gold is still in the mass market. People want to buy in bulk. I think there's psychologically, I think there's some excitement when you, di ba, when you, especially like we were talking about fresh produce, di ba? When you find something good, di ba? Something that will last long. So I think that is something that will not change. And I think undoubtedly, even if you can do everything online, people are social beings, so they want to get out of the house. Diba? I think that's not going to change. I think after this pandemic, it's obvious that even though everything will be at the touch of a fingertip, parang we still want the idea of going out. Like people want to meet out in restaurants, diba?
Yes. Actually, naglabasan na nga yung mga tao sa lungga nila.
Correct.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I went out. Although, of course, with protocols, di ba? Alam ko ikaw, nangangati ka na rin lumabas-labas at magpagkita sa mga tao, di ba? But syempre, you do your protocols. Yung debt levels niya, you're happy with their debt levels? Despite, di ba, nag-ano sila nag-umutang sa market, pero even with that, mababa pa rin yung debt niya.
Debt levels are still good. Kasi you have to understand though, I think what's important is the terms of borrowing. Kasi it's a high turnover type of environment. So long as the debt levels are more on the short term, meaning less than a year, it's fine. Yung long terms is what you should be wary of if that increases. So for the short term, I think what's obvious is that can they pay the interest, and I think naman it's covered. No, I think their coverage ratio for the interest expense is more or less around 4 times. So their profit can cover more than 4 times of the interest expense. That at least is healthy. But I think it's not out of the ordinary for companies such as Pgold to take debt. But yun nga, it's usually short term kasi di ba receivables yan, di ba? So there's delivery, an IOU, and then maybe after 3 to 6 months, diba, they have to be paid. That's fine, as long as it's maintained at a healthy level.
What makes it better than similar stocks in the same industry?
Similar stocks right now, well, I think Pgold kasi is essential. It's you really have to buy your grocery items. Whether you do it weekly or monthly, your habits are going to change, but your essentials won't. If you look at, let's say, other consumer stocks, maybe let's say URC, Jollibee, there are not that many type of stocks comparable. Maybe RHI is probably the closest, and I think that's already. I think we've already seen that bounce as well, no? But syempre, you might change.
Wait lang kasi kanina, bago mag-start yung show, nakikipagdebate ko dito sa staff natin dito kasi siya mas URC. Ako mas pure gold. Sinabi talaga. Okay, so you're saying, ito kasi ang dami niyang product.
Sorry, ano ka ba? Mas pure gold ka ba or mas URC?
Mas pure gold. Siya mas URC. Nag-away kami.
Depende nga kasi even if they're both retail, iba naman yung influencing factors nila, di ba? For one, Pure Gold is just local. URC also has international brands. So that's one. And second is, I think Pure Gold will probably be less sensitive to inflation because overall, what you're looking in Pure Gold is the transaction price. So let's say I have my monthly grocery will probably be, let's say, 3,000, and then inflation is up 5%. Probably you might scale down on your URC products, but you won't scale down on your essentials. And the flip side might happen. If inflation goes down, it goes down to, let's say, 1%, probably you're going to be spending more on other URC products, right? But this is just an example, no? Because again, there's so many things to consider. This is why it's still an apples to oranges comparison. Or you can't put exactly URC, or you can't put it against a Pure Gold.
Okay. So yun pa naman yung nilalagay ko sa downstream natin. But of course for people kasi who have limited budget, alin yung mas bibilihin nila? At what price should they buy Pure Gold?
Pure Gold, I think we've seen it fall. So I would expect the price action next week, especially to weekend. Now, uh, if it's still net foreign selling, probably I'd still buy Pure Gold below 40. It's a seller's market, meaning people might be panicking and they might not realize that they're missing an opportunity by holding on to their Pure Gold, which is going to be defensive in nature for the pandemic. So if they can get anything below 40, we've seen it hit as low as 34, and I think that was overselling. And people, I guess, they realized the error that we shouldn't discount it because the fourth quarter was quite strong. Probably it will still have steady numbers for 2021. As for URC, I think the lowest we saw was close to 120, maybe 122, if I'm not mistaken. I think that is also a bit overdone. Again, closer to its previous low the last 2 weeks, I think would be better. Yes, inflation is at 5%, but let's consider that the inflation is made up of I think around 10 items. Right? You have oil, you have restaurants, education, everything comes into play. So how much of that 5% is going to affect URC, right?
What would be the level where you will say it's too expensive now?
Too expensive. Well, our target price for Pure Gold is around 55. So,
pag kay Luis daw laging mura.
ano yan?
Pag kay Luis bibili, laging mura. Okay, so 55 target price.
Yes, I think if you even ask other researchers or brokerages, I think their target ranges are, let's say, between most of them will say, let's say, between 52 to even some, I think, goes as high as 60. So probably 55 is reasonable. If you're able to get it at a good price, especially next week if there's a lot of panic selling, just wait probably for the results in May. Probably that's going to give some indication. But I think a lot of people will be eyeing Pure Gold now because, again, same with what ano nangyari last year, di ba? Na there's some weakness, they're probably going to look at something defensive.
Oo, lalo na ngayon mag-ECQ na tayo ulit. So paakyatin natin si Floy dahil dumadami na po ang mga katanungan para sa kanilang dalawa. Sabi ni Kevin, buy on dips daw. May tanong po si Aris Baloran, any impact of ECQ on consumer stocks?
Yes, there's going to be an impact, and we're probably going to see the same case as last year. So again, consumer stocks that are non-essential. So this might have an effect on, let's say, an SSI. But you don't need to make a purchase on those clothes, for example. You're going to stick to the basics, right? So probably that's going to have an effect. But of course, syempre, at a certain point, you have to replenish those supplies. So I would probably look at those type of stocks and how they're going to buy. And I think we've seen, probably as a guide, just look how these stock prices reacted. I think it's exactly 1 year since we implemented lockdown. I think it's a little over a year.
A little over a year, pero 1 or 2 weeks lang, a few days.
Okay, so probably look at how those stock prices reacted. But I think people are also looking, are probably examining it. So just be very vigilant, I guess, in the next few days.
Pero yun nga, na-experience na nila yung pagbagsak ng market to 4,000 levels. Tapos nakita na rin nilang umakyat. So I think that should be very instructional for people. Pedjen, mag-hello lang po ako sa aking class fam na nandito na. Fritz is here. My boss is here. Syempre, mga friends natin. I-greet muna natin. But there's a very interesting question here. Is it advisable? Mas mataas Oo nga, laging sinasabi ito. Lalo na nung nag-6666 yung COVID, mas mataas na daw yung COVID kaysa sa PSE. Oh. Diba? Ano ba naman yan? Pero advisable ba to hold Pure Gold over the long term? Floy, jump in. You can ask questions also or answer them. This is a conversation. It's not me hosting. It's just a conversation between friends. Pure Gold long-term investment?
Floy ba muna or?
Floy, ikaw muna.
I think there's so many unknowns at this point. If you're able to buy whether it's pure gold or any stock, I think your target should be very short term at this point because you don't know exactly when how many when are the cases going to normalize, when the vaccines are going to start coming in, right? And nobody, I think in November, everyone's already very bullish. That's why we hit 7.5, but nobody realized that there could be a strain that is,
Babalik ulit ang
that could spread much more, that could, I guess more, I don't know, deadly is the term, no? Pero, yun nga, di ba, yung the ability to spread so quickly. So, just make it very short term at this point. If you're happy with the returns that you make on the stock, sell it muna.
Okay, so basta kunwari, ang target mo ay 20% return at nag-hit na, go ka na ba? Then, tapos ka ulit, parang ganon. What is your take on REITs?
Ako na naman. REITs kasi...
Yes.
Yung REITs kasi, you have to understand that it's positioned like preferred stocks, no? Kasi you're buying the REIT for something that's very stable.
Yeah.
So I think, let's say, Double Dragon and Ayala, they're promising, or not promising, no, but they are expecting that they can pay out around 5 to 6% of the stock price that you get it. So don't expect it to move like Ayala, Ayala REIT and a Double Dragon REIT. Don't expect it to move in the same way as the stock itself. Now, look at the properties that are listed in the REIT. So, are these tenants going to be are they going to be here for the long term? Are these companies na...
Yung anak-anakan ko na sa Kumu. Yes, so go ahead.
So, are these companies that are going to be paying, or are these stable tenants or companies? Look at the profile of those that are being listed. I would say yes, diba? Kasi I think a lot of these are corporations, so probably they're going to be stable. But again, you're not buying the REIT for the capital appreciation. You're buying it more for the steady payments of income.
Right. So parang dividend siya talaga. Ayun, parang you're expecting regular inflows because you're like renting properties without really paying for the cost of maintaining those properties. There's a very interesting comment from Kevin. For Floi, kapag nasa hospital ka talaga, maliit ang 7-digit, may PhilHealth coverage pa yon. Kaya dapat po lahat kayo stay safe and stay healthy. Magpamacho katulad ni Luis at ni Floi para hindi po tayo lahat magkasakit.
Parang ako hindi.
For someone who's staying in a non-major hospital for 2 weeks and having 2 oxygen tanks in a day, what's the ballpark figure? Ito nga yung sinasabi natin kanina. This is a real number. 8 million pero major hospital kasi yun. I'm not sure about the cost. Maybe some of the doctors who are listening here can chime in. You can put in the comment section. It depends kasi on the severity of the case. Yes, Floyd?
May mapapayo na lang ako for them. Kasi I know a lot of the viewers are concerned, no? Bakit ka COVID, ano yung hospital expenses. Ako, I can say that you might want to check may mga retail health cards na ngayon, yung mga tingi-tingi na coverage for a health card, health-related cases. Marami ng COVID-related cases na kino-cover. Hindi ko na i-mention ko ng product, but if you're going to check in GCash,
magpapabayad muna tayo.
in this mobile app, no, meron silang product wherein from 700 pesos to 1,500 pesos yata. Tama ba? Sorry, 700 pesos is the maximum. You'll be covered for at least 405,000 pesos.
For that single hospitalization. Not per day for COVID itself.
For COVID and dengue related cases for a year. So you're just going to pay 700 pesos. So medyo naging...
Yes, go ahead.
medyo naging mas mabusisi ako when it comes to critical illness coverage kasi nga na-avail ko na yung critical illness coverage ko. So I know the fact na wag naman ayoko kailanganin siya in the future pero I feel not protected without having it. So nakakapag-research ako. So may mga critical illnesses lang na focus na health card, na prepaid health cards that you can pay for 1,000 pesos to less than 5,000. You can be covered up to 500,000 pesos already for 42 cases na ng 42 illnesses na ng critical illness related.
See guys, there are already financial instruments, especially since COVID happened, nag-evolve din yung industriya, no, para makapag-provide ng cheaper insurance policies, but some insurance companies just cover the effects of COVID. Kunwari, nagka-COVID ka, they won't cover you for COVID, pero kung nagka-pneumonia ka, doon ka sa pneumonia pwedeng mag-claim, no? Quick question for both of you. Gusto ko rin malaman si Luis kung anong sagot mo dito. Yung emergency fund, pwede bang i-invest?
Well, para sa emergency yan eh. So kung ako, huwag nyo gamitin pang-invest kasi emergencies can happen anytime. Kaya emergency, di ba? Expected siya eh. Talagang dapat meron for emergency lang talaga.
Yes. Thank you. Floy,
Ako ang masasabi ko dyan is one, yun nga, it's emergency situation, so kailangan doon lang siya nakadedicate. But if you will be comfortable, you might want to check digital banks. There are a lot of digital banks that they can give up to 4% per annum of return. So ang okay naman doon, liquid yung pera mo doon, no? But of course, again, kailangan comfortable ka muna with that bank, with that digital bank. Kasi nga, again, we're talking about purely digital bank, no? So wala siyang physical bank, no? So
hindi ka po pwedeng pumila sa branch pag sa problema.
So kung comfortable ka doon, with those kind of mag-transact ka doon, online ka lang, digital nga lang, no? So you can check, no? There are a lot. May 4%, may papasok din ng 6% Singapore-based.
Si Tony.
Si Tony. Yeah.
Ay, wait. Magpabayad muna tayo ng sponsorship. But thank you so much to the two of you. It's been 50 minutes since we started. I said only 40 minutes kasi we wanted people to have a good night. Maiksing Financial Saturday lang sana. Very quick lang comments before I end the stream. Sobrang sulit na daw ngayon. FMETF, very quickly, Luis, before we say goodbye. Mga one-liner mo on FMETF.
Exchange Traded Fund?
Yes. At yung ETF ng First Metro.
Well, these I think when you buy a traded fund, first you look at the composition. Kasi there's a lot of types. There's one that tracks the index. There's I think there are a lot of it's evolved na, di ba? There's mga opportunity fund, dividend fund. So this exchange traded fund has a basket. So look at the basket and the composition. Obviously, if it's the index, those are the 30 names. So it's just going to track the performance. And I think, the way I tell people is, you get into a fund is probably you don't have enough time to manage stocks kasi you have a full-time job. Wala ka rin talaga magagawa, di ba? That's why you leave it with a fund and a fund manager. But if you have the discipline to research and do your own homework, then you can trade on your own. So I think that's why you buy a fund, di ba? Kasi you give it to a fund manager. I think you pay, depending on the fund, di ba? You pay 1%, 1.5% as a management fee every year. But at least you have peace of mind that it's in the care of someone with a good track record, supposedly, right? Whereas you can just do it yourself. So it's really up to you and how you want to balance it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. We really don't have much time. Alam mo, dami na namang nagko-comment ng bitin. Marami pang mga katanungan ang pumapasok. But we'll try to answer those in our next episode next Saturday. Safe daw ba? Yes naman. Basta gumawa kayo ng due diligence nyo. Hindi ko na pa sasagutin yung dalawa kasi baka mag-isang oras pa po tayo dito. Luis, thank you so much for the gift of your time. We really appreciate that. Alam nyo, ilang linggo na po namin siya ini-invite kaya lang lagi siyang galing sa bundok.
So sabi ko, sigyo na naman kaya dito na sa bahay.
Ayun na nga. Para meron ka namang time to freshen up at magpaganda before ka mag-on cam. Floyd, thank you so much for your
Thank
powerful
you.
story as always. Thank you for being so generous with your time and your learnings. Hampugi daw ni Luis, sabi ng nasa stream. Lagi namang ganon, di ba? Yung mga comment. I'll just show just one comment, and this is, I think, something that both Luis and Floy also receive from people who often watch them and listen to what they say. Na everything that they talk about, pag sinapuso natin, it's going to improve the way we handle our money. But money is never the most important thing. As we always say, it just allows us to do the things that are most important. So thank you to the both of you. Maraming salamat sa ating mga viewers. We'll just bring them down the stream. I hope we can invite you again in the future.
Of course.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thank
Now,
you.
for
Thank you.
our Ansabi ni Salve segment, ikukwento ko lang po yung aming experience ni Floy. And Luis, you might want to listen into this. There was a
Sure.
time when we went to Tanay Rizal to really talk about, I don't know if you remember this, Floy, this is a life-changing moment for
Oo.
me. We were invited to talk to mga nanay in Rizal, Montalban, Rizal. Relocation site siya. So they were really poor. There were some nuns who were very important to me who said, kailangan nila ng training on how to handle their money. Ang tanong, anong money? Kasi na-realize namin na ang kinikita nila everyday is like 150 pesos, Luisa. 150 pesos. And these are nanays and some of them are single mothers. So, paano sila nagsusurvive? I kept asking them, okay, kung kailangan nyo ng additional pera, anong gagawin ninyo? Magpapadyak sila. So, in that place, you can see mga nanay po ang nagpapadyak. And so, in my mind, because wala kaming script, we were not prepared. We had, Floyd provided all the little piggy banks and the TGIF group came with me there. I was on my own and my daughter with me, and they just donated their time to be with me at that time. So habang nag-briefing ako, iniisip ko talaga, ano kaya ang pwede kong iwanan sa kanila? And naisip ko lang to challenge them na magpa-jack pa one more para makapag-ipon ng 25 pesos per day. That's where it all began. So I said, I challenge you, 25 pesos ng Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. How much is that at the end of the week? 125. 500 per month, 6,000 per year. Lahat sila, oo nga, no. Pwede ba magkano na yung Coke? Pag bumili sila, ubos, mas mahal pa yun kaysa sa 25 pesos per day. But the really interesting thing at that time was at the end when I asked them to sing and dance with their 6,000 pesos. Play money ha. Nagbigay tayo ng mga play money nun. Sabi ko, how does it feel to have 6,000 pesos in your hand na instead na binili mo ng beer, ay inipon mo para sa future mo. And you know, Luis, you can do something with that 6,000 pesos a year. Diba? If you compound that with the earnings in the stock market, that can be something else. But that moment where iyak ako ng iyak was when I told the women, alam mo kayo mga nanay, and it's still Women's Month, kayo mga nanay, that 6,000 pesos is powerful. But you are more powerful. Iyak talaga sila eh. Naalala ko talaga, I am powerful! Nagsisisigaw sila ng ganyan. So I just want to tell everyone who is in the stream today, Kumu, Facebook, YouTube, you are powerful. You are not your mistakes. You are not your tragedies. You are not a collection of your tears. Because all of those things pinagdadaanin lang natin. But who you are and who you are meant to be is powerful. And I'd like you to remember that tonight as we approach Lenten season next week. Medyo ako mismo, pag-iisipan ko ulit yan because we need to feel powerful. Please always join us in our show every financial Saturday, 8 to 9 p.m. every Saturday. And we also have a 5:30 p.m. every Friday. Pero break muna tayo next week ha. Mag-meditate muna tayo. And then 3 to 6 p.m. on Kumu every Saturday also para sa mga hugot ng mga bagets. Press 1 nga dyan kung sino ang gustong imbitahin ko si Hampuging Luis para pag-usapan ang mga hugot ng mga bagets sa Kumu. Ayan, maraming salamat po sa inyo. Tomorrow, YouTube, please watch with me 8 to 9 p.m. 8 to 8:10 p.m. Mga 10 10 to 12 minutes lang po yung episode natin tomorrow about Ben Levy. Very well said daw po, sabi ni Aris Baloran. My love to all of you. Luis, please stay safe. Floy, please get well completely. Hello to the family. Luis, hello also to the family. I used to interview his dad, his brother. At dahil ang tagal ko na po
All in the family na talaga.
Oo nga. Maraming salamat. Please stay safe. Please be happy. Please be powerful. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rambutan. Last time,